Brazil, a country on fire. In 2017, there were more fires than ever before recorded. This was a historic record. There were more than 275,000 fires, of which 132,000 were in the Amazon region. These caused huge losses to farmers, the health of the inhabitants, to transport, and biodiversity. The greatest number of fires is in the Amazon region. In Pará state alone, there was a 200% increase over the past year. But why is Amazonia catching fire? Is the region more inflammable? Who's to blame, and what's to be done to prevent it? To answer all of these questions, one needs to understand how Amazonia makes rain. The forest's main source of humidity is the Atlantic Ocean. The winds that blow across the equatorial region, the very same that brought Cabral's caravels to Brazil, push humidity into South America. The forest also produces its own rain by evaporation, as its trees daily expel 20 billion tons of moisture into the air. This water recycling creates local rainfall and also sends humidity to the center-west and southeast of the country. However, human activity and natural climate change are interfering in the works of this rain factory. Abnormal droughts are increasing in number, and the burning season has increased by 33 days in 35 years. The primary human activity is deforestation. The cutting down of the tropical forest is the main cause of burning in Amazonia. The edges of the forest that has been cut down become drier, and so more vulnerable to fire. Illegal logging also increases the risk of fire, as these clearings allow more sunlight into the forest. Now imagine the combination of all of this: deforestation, less continuous forest areas, the degradation of the forest, and an increase in the forest's edges. Apart from making the forest more vulnerable to fire, these factors interfere in the rains as they eliminate the humidity produced by the forest's transpiration and evaporation. These effects leave the forest on a cliff edge, and then global warming gives the final push. One of the effects of global warming is an increase in the temperature of the Pacific Ocean. This creates similar conditions to the El Niño, which in turn makes Amazonia drier. The Atlantic Ocean is also warmer. This is moving the rains away from the equator towards the northern hemisphere, reducing humidity in some parts of the Amazon. The result is more frequent droughts, and the summer rains are not able to replace the water lost in the previous dry season. Deforestation and climate change have increased areas susceptible to fire in Amazonia and may have forever changed the fire regime in the region, making even intact forests flammable. Brazil is more susceptible to burning and forest fires because reality has changed. Farmers and ranchers need to adapt to this. But how can we avoid the increase in burning and fires in this country? Is there a solution to the problem of fires? First and foremost, we have to stop the deforestation. Several studies prove that degraded pasture land available in Brazil is sufficient to fulfill all the demands of agricultural production, with no need for further deforestation. Apart from no deforestation, it is necessary to comply with the demands of the Código Florestal, or the Forestry Code, to replant illegally destroyed forests. This will make vegetation less vulnerable and protect rural properties from fire. In Brazil, in some instances, it is legal to perform burnings, but one must have been authorized by the environmental agency. Besides, when one uses fire to clear the ground, it is essential to have measures in place that will avoid the fire getting out of control. For example, preparing fire breaks around the areas to be burned, and having qualified workers with firefighting equipment. Authorities and local leaders are also responsible. They must develop fire prevention plans, including climate information with alerts for extreme dry periods when the fire risk is higher. Remember, illegal burning is a crime and can be detected via satellite. If the culprit is identified, there is a prison sentence of up to 6 years and a fine of up to 50 million reais. Much worse than the fine are the losses for producers, society, and for biodiversity. The climate has changed in this country. It's no longer possible to use the same farming techniques as before. Adapting to this new reality is a challenge, but the prize will be more cash in farmers' pockets and greater health for the population and the ecosystem. We are all in this together.